Krestmark Industries is a member of AMA, the American Architectural Manufacturers Association, an independent agency that oversees the fenestration industry in regards to product certification, development of standards, regulation, building codes, energy codes, and installation methods based on techniques of practices developed by nationally recognized associations. In this video segment, we'll be discussing the best practices and method used for a Method A type installation as outlined by AMA Installation Masters. Should you have any questions about installation methods in your area after viewing the video, please visit our website at www.krestmark.com. When installing a Krestmark window, the installer contractor has a few key responsibilities to keep in mind prior to installation. Do not store a Krestmark window in direct sunlight or with loose windows stacked on top of each other. The windows should be secured upright and in a shaded area prior to installation. Check all local building codes for window and installation requirements. Check the window for obvious damage. Check that the window ordered is correct as far as size, grid pattern, color, and operation. Starting at the exterior of the home, make sure the rough opening is a ½ inch larger than the frame of the window in both width and height. Be sure to check the opening for plumb level and square. Maximum allowable deviation from square is 1/8 inch for smaller windows and 1/4 inch for larger or multiple units. Verify the opening is level and plumb, making sure that your level is centered with the bubble between the two lines for both the jamb and sill. This is extremely important and will help speed up installation of the window and help ensure proper operation. This is a typical opening showing a vapor barrier previously installed and the sill flashing in place. There are a variety of rough opening preparations available depending upon conditions, including weather severity and types of siding. When using flashing tapes, be sure that they properly adhere to all surfaces such as vinyl, sheathing, house wraps, etc. See flashing tape manufacturer's recommendations for details. Remove and discard the plastic shipping boots from the bottom nail fin using a screw gun with a Phillips bit. With the window in the closed and locked position, place it in the rough opening. With a marker, move the window from side to side and draw a line at the edge of the nail fin. Do the same for both the top and bottom of the unit. This will help center the window in the opening. Remove the window. The sill of the window must be supported in a straight and level position at a minimum of 3 points at either end and in the middle. Place 1/4 inch shims on the sill of the rough opening, one in both corners, and, for this demonstration, a single shim to support the middle of the window. A small dab of sealant can be used to help keep the shim in place. Shims are recommended at a maximum of 12 inches in windows wider than 30 inches. For twin, triple, or quad units, shims must be placed under each mullion. Again, check that the shimmed surface is level and ready to accept the window. Apply a 3/8 inch bead of silicone caulk around the interior surface of the nailing fin, covering the nail holes. Set the window on the shims and adjust the side clearance to be equal on both sides. Tack one upper corner of the fin to keep the window in place. Readjust side clearance if necessary. Place shims along the sides of the windows at a minimum of 3 points at the head, meeting rail, and sill. The overall height of the window will determine the number of side shims necessary for installation. Shims must be cut to exact thickness to fit snug. Do not force shims into place. This may distort the frame of the window and prevent proper operation. Again, a dab of sealant will help keep shims in place during this process. Remove the shipping clips and unlock the window. Open the window approximately 2 to 3 inches, checking for equal margin at the bottom of the sash and at the meeting rail. At this point, raise the sash fully to check operation. Close and lock the window. Krestmark recognizes that there are other equivalent non-corrosive fasteners available. With all fasteners, proper placement and alignment are necessary to achieve their maximum holding power. To achieve the stated DP rating, secure to the framing through the holes in the nail fin with a minimum number 8 1.5-inch corrosion-resistant screws as specified in the International Building Code and International Residential Code. Fasteners need to be spaced approximately 2 inches from each corner and approximately 12 inches on center around the perimeter of the window. The fasteners need to be long enough to penetrate a minimum of 1.5 inches into the wall framing. Combination or multiple window units must be fastened directly at the mull and approximately 6 inches on either side of the mullion. Fasteners should be centered in the slots, snug, but do not draw all the way in, similar to installing vinyl siding. This allows for normal expansion and contraction. If using pneumatic tools, adjust power not to distort or damage the nail fin. Make sure the head and sill are not bowed up or down. If the sill is bowed up, as seen here, the window will not operate or lock properly. Likewise, check that the side jambs are not bowed in or out. At this point, the window should be secure and correctly installed inside the rough opening. Check the unit one last time for proper operation. Check for any installation issues and redo any necessary steps to correct. When flashing the window, check manufacturer's instructions and installation methods along with local code requirements. For this demonstration, we're using 6-inch flashing tape. AMA has recommendations for using up to 9-inch tape, which could be based on siding and weather exposure. Flashing material must meet a minimum water resistance of 24 hours in accordance with ASTM D779 and AMA certified installation guidelines. As seen before the sill flashing was installed prior to the window, the side jamb flashing starts 5 inches above the window, down the nail fin, and extends past the sill flashing. The head flashing overlaps the jamb flashing as seen here. Once the flashing tape is installed, run a bead of caulk along the head flashing tape to adhere the previously cut vapor barrier. Duct tape the remaining cuts in the vapor barrier. The methods seen here are in best practice and will help ensure a weather and watertight barrier for the end user. We hope you enjoyed our installation presentation. If you have a question for installation methods or requirements needed for your project, please visit our website at www.krestmark.com. Thank you for choosing Krestmark Industries for your premium vinyl and aluminum windows.